Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mr. L's Bell. This is Mr. L with Mr. L's Tutoring and Enrichment, where a passion for teaching meets the science of behavior. And in today's episode, I wanted to lean a little bit into talking about financial literacy and teaching that to children. And I wanted to really lean into it because I'm seeing the popularity of this coming up quite a bit. And having had done a little bit of that, I was very excited to share my experience of teaching fifth graders a little bit about the stock market. So one thing I'm starting to learn as I see certain teachers try to teach it to younger grades or third or fourth grade, it really is worrying only because of one thing is that we are teaching inadvertent values. And depending on the word you use to describe money or the work that you do to get it or the things that you use to sell or the products that you create, it really starts to show kids like, hey, this might be all we think about. And that's really the part that makes me a little bit more nervous when I see the prevalence of financial literacy. As adults, we're already run by money, and it's a quiet struggle for a lot of Americans in the space that we're in right now. And so trying to teach about a subject that's touchy for many Americans at this moment, and with such a wide array of students, it may be difficult to find common ground unless you are open to discussion. And that's really how I taught a lot of any of the information that I talked to my kids about. When I had a pod, I was really guiding them through certain platforms and showing them the difference between investment platforms. So I had different accounts, and I made sure to do Play Money. So they didn't really need to see my personal account. I just wanted to make sure to show them like, hey, here's what Play Money looks like on this actual platform, and here's what it looks like on this other platform. And I want you to tell me, what do you think the difference is? And the main difference I'm trying to have them notice is the amount of research and education and what kind of information that they're providing the people who are using the actual product. So I wanted to make sure to orient kids to understand that this is the market, and this is the stock market, and I told them it's a big mall where you kind of buy pieces of companies, all right? The difference is when you're using these different platforms, it's like the shop right in front of the big mall. Some of the platforms will sell you goods from inside the mall without ever showing you the price listed inside the mall. So just understanding the concept of this before they see all of the information. It's quite overwhelming for kids in fifth grade, but making sure that they understand, hey, we can read this. This is not a mountain of like daunting information. We can chip through this and we'll be able to understand at least a little bit about this company or a little bit more about what it is that they actually do. The next thing I did with my students was to show them price action. So from the beginning of the day, I was lucky enough to have them while they were at school online, and I was making sure to round out some information. So while they started their day, I had them pick a stock, see what it opens at 9:30. I taught them the timing of the bell, 9:30, and then at 4 p.m. And I made sure they heard the bell ring. A lot of platforms have the bell ring, and that was really helpful. So I wanted to make sure the kids could see firsthand like what is actually happening, and to explain to them certain concepts like volume, price action, opening, percentages. This is a great way to actually show kids how to calculate percentages and how to see how many percent points this appreciated or depreciated while we were at school. So this is a great way for kids to practice their math and to put it into context. That was the biggest thing. I wanted to teach these kids what some of these numbers meant. Okay. So the other thing I wanted to really do was teach them more about the economy and more about resources and how resources are priced off of the actual demand. And the demand is controlled by the supply, and making it seem like a high or low supply, we can really start to play around with demand. So I wanted to make sure to introduce those bare minimum concepts, and then lean into showing them the actual mall that all this applies to. And the mall is just the stock market. It was the greatest way to show them, because I mean, America's malls are going empty. So right now, why not use them as a metaphor for all of the economy? And these little stores are just different companies that are buying and selling pieces of ownership. All right. So explaining to them certain concepts like dark pools was great because the mall was a great setup, because I can just say, hey, look, what if you had somebody in front of the mall who set up their little kiosk and would only go into the mall when they got certain number of orders for a certain product. And when they went in there, they would not tell you the price listed inside the mall, but they would have a price of their own that is either above or below. And that's really how a lot of these brokers would make their money. I would exchange and maybe a fee for each transaction, or there's just a difference in the price that you're paying and the price that's listed on the actual market, not inside of the brokerage. So it was very, very eye-opening to show them, like, kiddos, these are not the same price if you look at it on this platform and you look at it on this platform. They may be off by 1 or 2 cents, but if you multiply that 1 or 2 cents by however many people are trading at the same time, which is another concept that we pointed out, volume, and it was really, really helpful to show them, like, look, if I had 32,000 people do that, now I have 32,000 cents, like pennies. How many dollars do I have? This is a great one, because then you can start showing them shortcuts in math. You can show them a decimal point, and the word decimal, DEC, has a word 10 in it. Oh, it's fun. It's fun. I like to intertwine the language that we use with the math that we do. Let me pause there. I'm getting a little too excited. Let's step off my little soapbox. But yeah, for financial literacy, I would love to see a lot of students, one, experience what's going on in the stock market. But right now, just as observers, I need to start there. As observers, detach yourself, because it is very, very hard, because what we're seeing now is an opening up of where you can put your money with riskier and riskier bets. Okay, so I want you guys to really start talking to the kids about the resources, the economy, rather than really just talking about the money. That's hard to do, but start there. And it's really, really eye-opening to see kids discuss and mull over these ideas. All right, so I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot for listening in. This is Mr. L signing out.